Queen, now I hate you.
I don't know whatever you're talking about.
I swear that's not a Dairy Queen right next to where I work at.
I
You know
worked
the
at
best
Dairy
part?
Queen for like 5 years.
I don't know if I am sad for you or happy for you. That is one of the most conflicting emotions I've ever felt. And it's about working at Dairy Queen.
It was a great job.
As he sips his Dairy Queen cup.
Did you really just put your Dairy Queen cup inside of a coffee cup?
I don't know what you're talking
God.
about. It worked.
Ridiculous.
He's that serious.
Oh, God. All right, I'm going to count us in. All right, going in 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to your favorite anime podcast, Anime F-Bomb, presented by Neek. Today I'm your host, Fluffy Buddy Kitty, Mariah Wild, and with me as always, plus 2 additional guests, is Elijah Senpai Steel Steel. What's up, Elijah?
Oh, nothing much. How about you?
Oh, just podcasting, doing things.
Oh, the good old times.
Yeah. And of course, as always, is the Thug Nasty, Full House living, Virginia, Jenny Hubbard.
Oh, wow.
What's up,
Well-
Jenny?
0 Full House related incidents so far, but don't push it.
Don't worry. That will change. Remember, she goes thug nasty after 9.
I
So-
don't want to
Wow.
have to. I don't want to have to thug out over this. Don't get me started.
I mean,
God forbid someone mentions John Stamos. It's like feeding a gremlin after midnight.
Oh, wow.
Bob
Ugh.
Saget. Bob Saget.
No, Bob Saget is horrible. He's not funny.
She says as she holds a gun to your head.
Fair enough. And our guest for today is Mr. Daniel. You may have all seen him in the Neat group. We are seeing him on the webcam right now. What's up, Daniel?
How's it going? How's it going? Nice to be here.
Sweet, sweet. And of course, with us right now is my best friend and, from what I can tell, our #1 fan, Miss Tiffany.
Hey guys, what's going on?
All right, so Daniel, Tiffany, what do you guys love so much about anime, and what is your favorite of all time?
Well, now, I guess I'll start first since I started talking. But, I don't know, anime, it's kind of a part of who I am at this point. It just kind of helps me stay calm, and I like all the different adventures and different like worlds that I don't get to experience within anime. It kind of brings that emotion out. But my favorite anime of all time is actually Yu Yu Hakusho. It's one of my classics right there. Like, I watch that show probably once a year, every year, since that show has come out.
Only once a year?
I watch a lot of anime, so I'll give
Fair
it
enough.
this time. I give it this slot.
Fair enough. All right, what about you, Tiffany?
You know, it's really funny. I had to answer this question for my father about 6 months ago because he doesn't understand why his 27-year-old daughter is into anime. But basically, I'm into things that are very unrealistic or very fantasy genre type, and anime just consistently falls into that category, and it never ceases to amaze me, the ideas that they come up with, and it's just like, holy crap, what if this actually happens in real life? And you think about real life stuff, you're like, dang it, it doesn't happen. All right, so I have to
Right.
live with my plain boring life. It's all right. But as far as my favorite anime, I mentioned it earlier, Inuyasha is hands down my favorite anime. It's just because there's action, there's comedy, there's romance, and then there's moments like, are you kidding me? I know there's a lot of, it's probably one of the worst animes for fillers, but there is something
Oh.
happening every episode, and it makes you keep watching because of the character build and just the characters themselves. They're just lovable, and some of them fluffy, some of them not, and just some of them you go, why? Just why?
Fully agreed. All right, guys, what have we been watching this week, or past couple of weeks, however long it's been?
Well, I'll start off by saying I got about 5 or 6 more episodes into Attack on Titan. I still don't like it.
5 or 6 more episodes in 2 weeks.
It
Yeah,
is
I'd say you
hard.
don't like it.
It is so hard to watch it. Sunday night, I was like, I'm gonna spend the night watching Attack on Titan. I watched one episode and I'm like, I don't know. I could probably give myself a vasectomy and have a better time. So I ended up turning on the next show I want to talk about,
Wow.
which is actually good,
What?
and that's Your Lie in April.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
I'll watch an episode to see how I like it. I'm pretty sure I didn't notice the time go by, and I'm like, probably on like episode 3 or 4. No, I was on episode 8. So that show is so good, and the emotions are really well brought out in that show.
Yes, it is. I call
I-
that show the show that breaks men. Because it broke me.
There's really only one other show I've ever seen that has given me that kind of emotional feeling, and that's Erased. And I don't know, it's one of those shows I'm afraid to start every time because I need to make sure I have enough time. Because I'll put on an episode and be like, I'm gonna watch 3 more. I can't put it down. That's all I've been watching.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Alright, I guess I'll go next. Most recently, I saw the movie Metropolis, the animated one.
Yes!
And
Ooh, wow.
it's really similar to the classic movie Metropolis. I mean, not really. I don't know. Yes, the plot and no, the plot. It's really similar and it's really dissimilar at the same time, if you know what I mean. And I thought it was super, super interesting. I liked the robot girl. The animation style is very unique. And one thing I found really interesting about the movie is the tone. I couldn't really tell who the target audience for this movie was, but to me that's a good thing. Like, if I can't be like, this is for women, or this is for kids, if I can't do that, then I sort of like it more. And I thought it was really interesting for that reason. And then I also saw Cowboy Bebop the movie. Now, of course, I've seen the TV show a couple of times. And I've actually
I love that movie.
I've actually owned the movie for a couple of months, but I never got around to watching it. And then this afternoon, I was kind of bored, and I was just like, well, I guess I could watch a movie, so I watched that. And, I mean, obviously I liked it. I think if you like the show, it's pretty much a given you'll like the movie. It's like a really long version of an episode of the show. It's sort of what it seemed like to me. And I've heard people complain about that, but to me, that's a good thing. Because if you like the show, then that's what you would want, I would think. But I thought it was good. It was funny at some parts and interesting.
If you can't tell, I wholeheartedly agree with you on both choices.
Yeah, it's funny. I have both of the movies, and it's like I have this stack of DVDs constantly just sitting at my house that I should watch. Like, I pay money for this shit. And then it just sits there because either I'm busy or I forget about it. And then today I just sat down and I was like, well, I know what I'm going to do with about 4 hours. So that's what I did.
Nice, nice.
And I did not regret either one. I'm very glad I paid money for both of them.
There we go.
Cool.
Now, unfortunately, I've been like super swamped with work, so I've only had time to watch one anime in the past 2 weeks, which makes me really sad and kind of disgusted with myself. Oh, thanks.
It's alright. I know that life.
I am rewatching Claymore. I'm doing it subbed this time instead of dubbed. And honestly, I like it better dubbed. I don't know what it is, but I like it better dubbed. It's a great anime. Like, it's easily in my top 5. And I know a lot of people disagree with that because I've heard many reviews of how much it sucked. But I enjoy it thoroughly.
As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
This is true.
Very true.
Like, except for whenever it comes to Elijah and Attack on Titan, he's just wrong.
Are you still gonna try and tell me that Attack on Titan is better than Digimon?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I think
Forever.
you started a war here, Elijah. You just never should have mentioned the show in
No.
the first place.
You know what's gonna make it even worse? What I'm about to say.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
No,
You
God.
better
regarding
not.
sub and
You
dub.
better not.
I actually enjoy the dub of Attack on Titan more.
Ugh.
Fight! 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 Fight!
Alright, hold on. Let's take a vote here. Who enjoys Digimon more than Attack on Titan?
Hi, hello, right here. All the way.
It
All
depends
the
on what
way.
season we're talking about here.
No, we're just talking about as a whole right
A
now.
lot of Digimon.
That is a lot of Digimon.
We'll go with seasons 1, 2, and Try, since that's like the main series that everybody thinks of.
Oh man, if I had to go with a cohesive story, I'll probably say Digimon. If I had to go with animations, I'll go with Attack on Titan. That's my opinion on that.
All in favor for Attack on Titan?
Okay, I'm gonna vote for Attack on Titan, but
Oh,
just to
come
be
on.
clear, I have never seen
That's
Digimon.
basically women
I've
against
never
women
seen
decision.
Digimon, so I'm going with Attack on Titan because I've seen it and I found it entertaining. So, you know what? Should my vote even count? Maybe I shouldn't vote because that's kind of cheating. But
It doesn't
No,
matter. I'm
no,
not
it's
voted
fine.
anyhow.
This is Battle of the Sexes right now, men versus women.
oh my God, it worked out that way, didn't it?
Yup,
Thank God there's more
pretty
of us.
much.
Shows ya, men like terrible puns a lot more than women.
I don't know. I love
That
punnies.
depends.
The vet
That
finally
depends on
released.
the pun.
The vet finally released the horses. They were in stable condition.
Oh. Oh, why are you doing this?
That was from
I'm
the
a good-
movie.
I'm a good person. I don't deserve this.
Oh wow.
What about Daniel and Tiffany? What have you guys been watching?
All right. I'm gonna go with two of my favorite animes of this season that I've been watching consistently. One being My Hero Academia, probably my favorite show of the season right now. That show is like a love letter to Stan Lee and like American comic books. If you're a big fan of any Marvel or DC comic, you would definitely like My Hero Academia. Like I like the growth of Izuku throughout the show so far. I liked it so much that I bought the first 3 volumes of the manga because I just
Nice.
like I want to stay with it once the show ends because it's only gonna be 13 episodes. But just seeing how he grows from being a person who doesn't have powers to where he's at currently in the show is just a really good trip. The second show I want to talk about is probably the one by Wit Studio, people who made Attack on Titan. Their newest show, Kabanari of the Iron Fortress.
I've
That
never
is-
heard about that one.
That anime is so good. It's a steampunk, like post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse.
You have my attention.
Yeah, so like this is Wit Studio's first original anime because the two shows they worked on before this would be Seraph of the End and Attack on Titan. And
Seraph at the End is so good.
it's really good. And like basically they took everything they learned from those two shows as far as like just showing gruesome deaths and storytelling and put it all into this anime. And you can definitely tell like the art direction. They even hire like a makeup artist in order to do like all of the facial expressions in the show, and it's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are like my two mains right now.
Well, just like Mariah here, I have actually come down from a very, very busy, hectic schedule, being a full-time college student and working full-time to live, so you know how that life is.
Oh yeah.
I finally decided to put my foot down and be like, okay, I need to get back into my anime because I'm just falling out of touch with myself and this is not cool. So I finally finished or picked up and finished watching Blue Exorcist a couple weeks ago. Kiku actually recommended it to me about 2 years ago, I think. But I got, I think, all the way up to episode 3 or 4 and then just never watched it again after that. But then finally I decided to sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this. I like the first 4 episodes. We're going to watch it all the way through. And I ended up liking it a lot more than I had expected. And now I'm just even more determined to read the manga because I feel like the anime was just way too short, in my opinion.
Yes.
But I like the story build. I like the direction it takes, and I like the build of all the characters together as a whole in the series. So I was really happy with it. And then I've retracked to a anime that I started watching many years ago after I finished reading the manga. It's called Fushigi Yugi. It's based on an old folklore from old Japanese era of the universe of the 4 gods, where basically the land was actually separated into 4 sections, and there is a god that reigns in each land. And when I started watching it years ago, I was streaming it online, and I think I got up to like episode 23, 26, and for some reason there was some issue with the episodes and the links because it backtracked to like episode 16 and it says episode 26. I'm like, that's not right. And then it kept going forward from 16 onward, I'm like, no, this is not working. So now, having finally got Crunchyroll, it was on there, and I'm like, yes, I could watch it all the way through, and I can see how the anime is different from the manga, and it's turning out fairly well. So I'm very excited about it, and it's just basically about these two middle school girls that are getting ready to apply for their high school entrance exams, and they end up getting sucked into this book called The Universe of the Four Gods, and each of the gods has a priestess, which there is a prophecy stating that the priestess is going to appear from another land, and she will be she will summon the god of that land, and they will basically save it. So the main character, Miyaka, becomes the priestess of Suzaku, which is kind of like I guess like a Japanese phoenix is the deity of that god, and she has 7 different warriors or celestial warriors underneath different constellations, or the constellations that they use in Japan, and it's actually pretty cool because each character is a little bit different, and you know, like I said with Inuyasha, there's action, there's comedy, there is, you know, the romance, and it kind of really teaches you a lot about, you know, loyalties, friendship, you know, and, you know, making hard decisions as a, you know, young teenager becoming an adult. So there's a lot of stuff involved in it, and I really like the way that it's turned out so far. And of course, I've been revisiting Seven Deadly Sins, which even the third time around, it's still awesome all the way. And plus, my love for the idealistics of the Seven Deadly Sins is just great. But the Sin of Lust he makes no sense, none whatsoever. The other ones make perfect sense of their characteristics, but that one just, nah. It bugs me.
And season comes out.
Yes, season 2.
Yeah, I think that starts this summer.
Yes, I need more. I need it.
On an unrelated topic, another thing that's coming out this summer is season 4 of Orange is the New Black. I'm super excited.
The show I have not started yet. Did I need to?
I can't tell if I love that show or don't. I can't tell.
What?
I can't tell if I like it or not, and I'm on the 3rd
it.
season.
You don't like
obviously you like it. You don't watch 3 seasons of anything and say you don't like it. I don't care.
I think you find out within the first couple of episodes if you like something or not. I mean, that's what I do. I do it with manga too. Like, I start reading it, I'm like, no.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm in the 3rd season mainly because Taylor Swift was mentioned in the first episode, and I'm just like, all right, I guess I have to watch the rest of the show.
I think Elijah is like the contrarian personality on here, and he's like here to argue with everybody, and that's his position in life.
That's not, well, okay, I hear that a lot, so I can't say it's not true.
Duly noted.
As my one friend puts it, it's like I wake up in the morning and just say, how am I going to piss this person off today?
Oh, wow. Today, that guy will feel the wrath of an asshole.
That guy.
Alright, so, now that we've all talked about what we've been watching, what's been going on with the news, Elijah?
Alright, well, we have some very interesting things. First, I want to start off with just a little something. The official website for the Danganronpa The Stage 2016, the Academy of Hope, and the High School Student of Despair play revealed new visual on Friday for its Tokyo run. This is a rerun of the show from 2014, which goes over the events of the first game. Let me reiterate, the anime is out. It's very disappointing, but the story behind this is so good, and the fact that there's a stage play that I didn't know about, I need to find a way to watch this, because Danganronpa is one of my favorite things in the entire world. So, you know, another thing I wanted to take note to is the costumes. After seeing the Naruto play costumes, I'm like, alright, well, I gotta make sure these other plays hold up. Danganronpa holds up. Really holds up.
Holds up better than the Naruto?
I can't say better than Naruto because those costumes were really well done.
Oh my god, they were so on point.
Have you seen the visuals for the Phoenix Wright stage play that's done by all females?
No.
It's really, really good. Like,
Wow.
there's a, I don't remember their name is, but there's a all-female stage group in Japan who does plays, and they do various animes and games, and do stage plays for them, and it's like really
That sounds
awesome.
awesome.
Completely unrelated note. There is a picture out of the cast of Civil War, but it's all anime. And I was really confused because every character is a female, and I'm like, okay.
I need
But-
to see this. I've seen the one that was like traditional Japanese oil painting, but I haven't seen that one. I need to see it
I
now.
found out literally an hour, not even an hour ago, what it is. It's a collaboration between Captain America Civil War and Idolmaster.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to point that out. You should go take a look at that picture. It is awesome.
Yeah, there's been quite a few of those floating around the internet. They did one with like Seven Deadly Sins and a couple other animes.
Speaking of movies, this year's 24th issue of the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine revealed on Monday that theatergoers who see the One Piece film Gold in Japan will receive a volume 777 book. The original manga creator Ichiro Oda is compiling the volume, which will include rough character designs and secret pages published in the first volume. The volume will also chronicle the secret of the film. Weekly Shonen Jump also revealed the cover design, and it's beautiful. Like I love One Piece. If you didn't know already, I love the show. I'm never gonna get caught up on it, and I fully accept that.
One Piece is a spectacular adventure. I've been watching that show for like, and reading it for like 15 years. And it's still going.
I finally actually started it in January.
You got a long way to go, son.
I'm like episode 70 right now.
750 plus episodes, and God knows how many chapters in the manga.
Lord.
Another awesome thing about this movie is the film is getting screenings in 3D, 4DX, and MX4D. With the 4DX or MX4D systems, certain theaters have motion seats that move in sync with certain action sequences on screen. Similarly, effects such as sense and wind will operate in accordance with the action on screen. Side note, we need that here with movies like this. We have like 2 4D theaters in this country. What the hell?
There's one in Gulf Shores, Alabama, like less than an hour away from here.
Lucky.
When I come down for Pensacon next year, I'm coming down a day early just to see what's playing up there.
That's fine.
The second Attack on Titan compilation film, the live-action Attack on Titan films, and the Girls and Panzer film all used the same technology. Mariah, I'm surprised you didn't see Attack on Titan like that.
You said
didn't.
live action Attack on Titan. That made me sad.
Oh, you mean something Attack on Titan wasn't good? You know, besides the show?
Time out.
The show's fine.
The live action was good, okay?
You know what's a funny thing? Denial.
It's not just
I
a
can't
river
stand with you with the
anymore.
live action movie. I've seen it. I can't.
I love the Resident Evil movies. I'm not going to say they're good. Except for the animated ones. Those are badass.
Anyways.
Next up, we have one that makes me chuckle. Every year, Merriam-Webster considers the latest slang and idioms for possible addition to the unabridged dictionary. Just last month, words and abbreviations like docs, microbead, TMI, and, most importantly, hella were added among the 2,000 new entries. The
Yes.
company takes the addition seriously with a focus on certain criteria, including longevity of use. Why is this important to us? Well, one word that's caught the Massachusetts-based company's attention is senpai.
Notice me, senpai! Notice me!
That's what that
Oh,
word
God.
is saying to Merriam-Webster right now. They said they will be keeping track of usage of senpai, you know, on the internet and just everywhere that they use their logistics, wherever the hell they got hella as an actual word to be put in there. If senpai gets put in there, that's hella dope.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I mean,
I'd be down
Muggle.
for it.
If Muggle can be put in there, senpai can be put in there.
This is true.
All I have to say. So, speaking of senpais, when I first got into anime, one of the first shows I was introduced to was Gundam.
Ooh.
Well, Turner revealed in a press release on Thursday that it has acquired the Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans anime to air on Adult Swim.
Yes.
Jason DeMarco, co-founder of Adult Swim's Toonami block, confirmed on Twitter that Gundam, will air on Toonami, and the 25 series premiere in Japan in October, and ended with a teaser that would return this fall. Sunrise, who is famous for doing most of the Gundam dubs, will also dub this along with Bang Zoom Entertainment, which I've never in my life heard of. It sounds like one of those companies that started up and were like, we're going to name this, and then nobody actually got their attention yet. I'm really interested in this because I love Gundam, and I've heard Iron-Blooded Orphans is great.
I can tell you firsthand that is one of my favorite Gundam series, and I've seen almost every Gundam series. Like, that Iron-Blooded Orphans is probably one of the best series they've done since, like, 8th MS Team or, like, Gundam Wing. Like, that story is really, really good.
Yeah, I really like Gundam Wing.
I have that theme song in my car.
Elijah, I'm telling you, you should get a white car so we can have Luna and Artemis cars, and we can put our giant crescent moons on the hoods.
Well, unfortunately, my car is red.
Oh, you bought a car already?
No, I'm just fixing my old car.
Oh, fair enough.
Not the one that got totaled, because that was officially totaled, but I've had a car sitting in the garage for about 6 years that I'm finally going to fix.
Fair enough.
It's okay, he could just be Sailor Mars.
Yeah. There we go.
I actually need to paint it orange, because if we're going with the best Sailor Scout,
Sailor
Mars.
V.
Funny story about Sailor
my
Mars.
girl.
At work, we got like some pop figures in, and one of the pop figures had the Sailor Mars box, but it had Sailor Jupiter inside of it. And I was like, this is wrong.
Oh,
my
God. This mistake.
I hope you realize that's probably worth money because of that.
Oh, I know. It's still at my store.
Buy it and
Oh,
send it to me,
goodness.
because Jupiter is the only one I need. I have all the other ones.
You can
Go
get
ahead.
misprint Sailor Jupiter.
Yeah, I have Jupiter also. I went into Hot Topic one day and I'm like, I'm just gonna see if they have the Sailor Moon one there. And I walked in, I'm like, oh, they have it. Oh, they have one copy of every other Sailor Moon one. I walked out of the store with 8 pops that day.
Wow. Aren't you glad I told you that they were already out and you didn't
Yes.
wait?
Yes. I was so sad that day. I went to the movies myself. I'm like, well, this is what depression feels like. I was crying in my popcorn and everything, the usual.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna check Hot Topic while I'm here. Well, that's what depression purchasing does for you.
Impulse
Oh,
buying, yeah.
Lord.
In all fairness, I got the
my
last 2 Mean Girls pops I needed also, so worked
I bet
out.
it cheers you up though.
All 4 of them.
Oh,
That
Lord.
cheered you up though, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Because I would turn my head the entire way home and like, Venus. Well,
Did you buckle them up?
no, I couldn't. The bag was too big.
Fair enough.
Oh, goodness.
We have one last bit of news. And for anybody on the show, they're looking at it and it just says Persona 5. Well, Persona 5, the date was officially announced for Japan of September 15th. We don't really do gaming too much unless it's anime-oriented. I can't think of almost any other game series out that is more anime-oriented than Persona. And Persona 5 just looks amazing. Knowing them, we'll get an anime that'll probably be pretty disappointing. I'm excited.
It seems like you're disappointed with a lot of anime in your life.
Only if
See,
it's based
I
on
feel
something
like
I
your
really like.
opinion just shouldn't count at this point.
No, I hear that a lot. And
Just is all it is.
I just choose to disregard
the
it
Persona 4
until later
because-
time when I'm alone.
Did you not like the Persona 4 anime?
And
It-
then you
it
sit
wasn't-
there and cry, don't you?
But let's not talk about it. It wasn't bad, but it kind of blew through summer really fast. The one that disappointed me the most was Persona 4 Golden, the anime. And it actually
the Mary Simulator.
it changed a lot of things from the game.
Mm.
Like the one episode, it made the main character kind of look like a jerk.
Well, your character kind of is a jerk.
Okay, that's fair. But in the one episode, he was supposed to hang out with Chie and Yosuke,
Mm-hmm.
but he had to pick one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the game, that was like 3 months apart. In the show, it was at the same time. He had to quick run and hang out with one while they didn't pay attention, and then
You
go
gotta-
hang out with the other one. I'm like,
You gotta
no.
think about it like this then though. Like the game is like 60 hours long if you just do like story stuff. So like an anime that's usually runs about maybe a 12, 13 hour runtime, they gotta squeeze stuff in that way. So like I mean they handled it probably the best way
Yep.
they could.
And that's the problem with Danganronpa the anime. That is the problem. A 30-hour game fit into 13 episodes.
They did what they could.
And I appreciate that. And I
Well-
watch it all the time just as an easier way to relive that story that I loved.
Mhm.
I do not recommend, somebody were to say, should I watch the anime or play the game? It's going to be play the game. Get the full story, then watch the anime and be like, okay, it misses a lot in the anime that I feel like is crucial. And Persona 4 was kind of the same way for me.
That's like the constant thread of adaptation. You always know something's going to be missing.
Exactly.
Regardless of which medium is going to which medium, it doesn't matter. You know they're going to change something, and you're going to be like, why are you doing this to me?
Exactly. Hence the reason no video game movie is good.
I'm holding
I don't
out.
I
I'm holding
don't
out
know.
hope that Warcraft will be good. I really want that one to be good. I think it looks good.
It's gonna be amazing. And
It's
I
gonna
also
be fun.
enjoyed
Good.
I enjoyed the Halo movie on Netflix.
Forward Unto Dawn?
Yes.
That wasn't bad. I think the main reason that did okay, and the main reason I think Warcraft might do okay, is it's not based on a story in the universe. It was a whole new
Yeah,
thing.
it's like
Oh, I'm so
background.
excited for the World of Warcraft one. Oh my
Oh
god.
lord.
And like I'm excited for Assassin's Creed, except for the fact that they randomly chose Kanye for music set in this game in the
Oh God.
what was it, like
I
18th
didn't even
century?
know that. What the heck? Why?
I did-
Oh,
I-
no,
I was watching the
no.
trailer and I'm like, here we go, and then I'm like, Kanye? Wait, Kanye?
That would
Did
be
he
my
like
reaction.
leave?
I mean, I feel like he doesn't have anything better to do anymore, so he just kind of sits behind bushes waiting for a moment to pop up and say one of the lines from his songs. But the game is, or the movie is set in like anywhere between the 15th and 18th century. I forget where. Pretty sure Kanye wasn't a thing back then. But hey,
Yeah.
what do I know about Spain at that time?
This is true. Alright, so we're gonna get into our topic of the week. Woo!
Yay!
Alright, we're gonna talk about animes after we watch them, how empty and lonely and sad and desperate and just plain like dog shit we felt after watching them.
By the way, I have an actual answer besides Attack on Titan, just so you know.
Oh, okay, I have two.
So, question: does this apply solely to animes that disappointed you, or could it be like one that you thought was so good that it ends and then you're just like, my life has no meaning now?
To
What,
give you an
what now
idea-
for me?
My answer is one that the anime was amazing. So I can
Okay.
go both ways.
I thought you were gonna say it. I was ready. I was like, yes, let's hear it.
I mean, if you want, I'll go first.
Go for it.
Steins
Do it.
Gate. That show started like just kind of a slow start, but you're getting into the characters, and without spoilers, there was an episode. I want to say it was episode 12 or 13 that like actually broke me emotionally, and I think Daniel knows exactly which episode I'm talking about.
I do, and I'm
And
currently playing through the visual novel right now. Again,
I was sitting there and I was crying watching this the first time. I'm like, oh my god. So that was daunting on me the rest of the show. And they did a really good job of making you realize it was daunting on Okabe. And you could see he was broken the rest of the show, but he was trying to be strong. And that just hit so emotionally powerful that by the time the show ended, the first time I watched it, I'm like, I can't tell if I liked that show or not, but at the same time, I just sat there for like an hour afterwards. Because I said, I can't tell if I like it, but I actually genuinely feel like a better person for having watched it. And that was when I realized I
Okay,
absolutely loved that show.
I have to see it now.
Yeah, you really do. That is one of the shows that I recommend to anybody who isn't into anime, because it's sci-fi based on a grounded reality. And it's powerful. That's my show.
Well, I'll tell you the show that made me feel extremely empty inside, and it's probably Clannad After Story. That show made me cry. That has one of the saddest stories I've ever seen for a character that they built up in the first season, this relationship with Nagisa, and then they just ripped it and destroyed me, and I felt so sad after watching that. I couldn't take it. That show is so good. Like, it's written so well. It's based off the visual novel of the same name. But like, that anime, it made me a very emotional person when watching it all the way through the after story part of it. Yeah, I recommend that to anybody who wants to cry.
Aww.
All right, put that on the list.
Watch the first series first before you watch After Story. It will make the impact way more hurtful.
You know, that just gave me a great idea for our topic for next week. How you will never ever complete your anime list.
Yep.
Oh God.
So
yes.
true.
If I have to go through my anime list,
Ooh.
I'll be old.
So remember how I said I was watching One Piece? I'm gonna stop there.
Gima. Oh lord.
Just gonna retire.
Just a small question. How far are you into One Piece right now?
About episode 72-ish.
Oh man, you haven't even made to the Grand Line yet, I don't think.
Oh lord.
No, I'm close.
Okay. Yeah, your story still hasn't begun yet. You're still going through origin stories.
Yeah. To give you an idea, if I remember correctly, they are soon going to be going to Alabasta. They have
Yeah.
Princess Vivi right now.
Oh, yep. I like that arc. That's one of my favorite arcs.
That is a really good arc.
Okay.
Alright, so you going, Virginia?
Yeah, I'll go next. For
Alright.
once, I'm gonna spare everybody, and I won't use Psycho Pass, although I could. I won't do it this time.
It's a
This
great
time-
anime.
You're all free this time.
On
I'll
the list.
say Romeo X Juliet, because I mean it's Romeo and Juliet, but that's what they called it, so whatever. This one is complicated. I liked it a lot. It's not that I didn't like it, but at the end I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I think I don't consider it a spoiler to tell you that Juliet dies. Like,
Oh, God!
that's not a spoiler.
Unless she dies?
But it's the way that it happened, okay?
Too soon.
There were there were 26 episodes, right? And the last, well, first of all, the plot doesn't follow the story of the play very well. It's like so loosely detached that at some point I started asking what they were going to do, what they were trying to attempt here. And in one sense, I wish they hadn't called it Romeo and Juliet, because the plot was nothing like the story that you know, really. Other than there being two houses that don't get along, and then the kids fall in love. And so in the last few episodes, I felt pulled back and forth, like, are they going to kill her? Like, are they just going to let her live? I couldn't decide. But then it's the way that she actually died. Like, the last episode, it was sad. I saw that about a year ago, and I still can't decide if I think it was sad in a good way or sad in a bad way. Because at the end, I just kind of sat there like, what? What? And I kind of want to watch it again because it was really good. I've seen it twice, but I kind of don't because
She's getting emotional.
I just felt empty afterwards. I felt empty. I was just like this unfulfilled feeling. I don't like it. Like, it was a good show, but I don't like that feeling.
Do you know what is filled? A full house.
No!
Oh,
no,
God,
I don't
no.
want the house to be full. Empty that house. You kill those suckers. Put 'em in the
Oh,
Take a
goodness.
firing squad in the backyard with those people in the house.
Oh, wow. That extreme.
She's
Well,
officially
in my
gone
opinion,
fuck.
they
Yeah,
just-
that's going quick.
It's 9 o'clock there.
Exactly.
Oh lord.
it's getting dark out.
It's getting dark out from putting the bags over their heads.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, I actually have two answers, and both of them are because I feel like the anime ended way too early, and it kind of left me at the end being like, what the fuck? This was so good. Why didn't we just finish it? The first one is Dead Man's Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
I know the manga goes forever, but you
Mhm.
know what? I just want to watch the anime. That's all I want. I just want to watch the anime. And, you know, they only did the first season. And it
They
was
ended
like,
so
what, like,
early too. Like there's
It
so much more
did.
stuff that happens in the manga. I was just like, why would you end it
I know.
right here?
I
At all?
right, and it was like just getting good. And I was just like, man, there's a hole in my heart now.
I should go finish
then-
reading that manga.
It goes forever.
Oh, that's fine. I watch One Piece for a living, so I'll be okay.
The second one is, you know, one of my personal favorites, Nana.
Oh,
Yep.
Nana was really good.
It was so good.
There's
And
so
then-
many unanswered questions.
And then I went and I read the manga and I finished it and I was just like, there was only really like a need for like maybe like 7 more episodes.
Mhm.
Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do this? Because if you don't read manga and you just watch the anime, once the anime ends, you're just like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
What is going to happen? Like, what? Come on.
That's why I'm prepping myself for My Hero Academia, because it's only gonna be 13 episodes. And I know they're gonna end it somewhere stupid.
my
And I'm like,
goodness.
I'm gonna read the rest of this book. Like, I'm gonna give them their money, so I can get me some more anime later. And if I don't get it in the next year or two, I'm gonna be upset.
Oh gosh.
Right? Oh, goodness.
Oh Lord. I can actually agree with Mariah on this one. Having two that really left me feeling empty. Kind of start off on the simple side. Fruits Baskets will probably be one of the ones that kind of left me
see
empty
that.
because I had actually started reading the manga only a few volumes in, and then I was able to watch all 26 episodes of the anime, and it has really great character build, and it does really go into a lot of background history of each individual character.
Mhm.
But because it was only out for 26 full episodes, it really ends off with a lot of unanswered questions. It's just like, okay, which one does Toru end up with? Is it Yuki or is it Kyo? What happens? And then you're curious about one of the characters. He's kind of like a background character, and it's just like, okay, what's his deal? Why is he so pissed off all the time? Why is he making everybody else's life miserable? But then every time that it gets to the climax of that anime, I've probably watched it a dozen times,
Mhm.
I still blubber like a little bitch. Just saying. Every single time. And I know I have a strong personality, but just,
If you
tears
like
everywhere,
shows like
every
that,
time.
you should watch His and Her Circumstances. That's a
Oh,
really good one.
yes! Yes! Oh, that is so good.
It's so
But-
good.
Then I get into reading the manga, and it's about 53 volumes long,
Mm-hmm.
and it really gets to the point, and it's just like, I'm really sad that the anime didn't go farther because I think they could have really did a lot with it, but I kind of see why as well, because there is a lot of details that goes into it. It climaxes even further,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like one of those things. It's like you're never going to reach it almost until you get to the end, and you're just like, that's it? Oh my god, I'm set free. Like, I'm just...
Oh, man.
Wings just brought it out, and I'm flying. And then the second one is Akira.
Oh,
No matter how many times I've watched that movie, I just still don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
Have you
it-
read
it's
the manga to it before?
I agree with that.
It's
Because- It's not your fault that you don't know why you don't know what's going on in Akira. It's the people who wrote it. They purposely wrote a different ending to that series that did not happen in the manga. It's like the whole deal with Akira is completely different in the book.
Can you tell us? Like, I'm curious now.
Yeah, go read it. Go
You should
read it.
read it. But I can tell you this:
Alright.
he's not a test tube baby. He's not a bunch of tubes.
I'm actually glad you told me that there's a manga, because for as many years as I knew that this existed,
that manga
or
came.
the
movies, and like that movie came out in 1990. This is very old.
Oh no, I know that. I was the one who introduced it to Mariah, but I've watched it a dozen times, and I'm like, I still don't know what's going on. It's
Read
like
the manga. The manga is extremely long. I have quite a few of the big ass books. They're like each book's like this big if you buy them like any like
I
comic book
think
store Barnes and Noble.
the third time I watched it, I was watching it with my dad, right? About half an hour into the movie, he gets up and he just leaves. And I'm like, where are you going? Where are you going? And he
Like,
said,
I
that
actually
is
have
some...
the the Tetsuo figure from
No
Akira.
way! I've got the Kaneda figure!
I do have it. Alright, it's right over here.
Tornado!
Kaneda!
oh my gosh.
Cool.
I'll pay
That
you
is
cash money for the
Awesome.
Tetsuo figure.
Yeah, I have quite a few like figures. I don't have a lot of them, but I have the ones that I like. I'll just put this one here for
Well,
now.
if you ever find another Tetsuo, just buy it
Oh,
for me.
Lord.
I'll pay you double.
Oh, I found it at my local comic book store. Like he gets like cool anime stuff, and he gives them to me a lot because he doesn't sell them at his store. And he's like, "Hey, you can just have all this anime stuff." I'm like, awesome. I have like
Normally-
all of Peach Girl and Revolutionary Girl Utano on my bookshelf over there.
I need to get a hookup like that.
You know, Virginia, I have to agree with you on that. I feel like if I ever try to have my dad sit down and watch anime with me, he'd probably get up in the first like 5 minutes and just be like, I'm not watching this shit.
Yeah, he was just
I
like...
mean, he calls manga mongo, and he says it with a caveman voice, mongo. And I'm like, it's not mongo, Dad. It's called manga. Manga.
I think it was... I mean, I can't read his mind, but I think it was like the violence that set him off. He was just like, this is some weird shit. I'm gonna go play.
That's what my dad would do. He was like,
My mom, she was like that. She's come to accept it, but when I was younger, I remember I was watching the Garlic Jr. saga for Dragon Ball, and she walked in, she's like, what the fuck is going on? People are turning crazy.
Meanwhile-
Slug people.
Meanwhile, I'm a little 6-year-old. My mom comes in the room. Yo, I got a movie you have to watch, and puts in Vampire Hunter D.
Your
Yes.
mom is cool, because Vampire Hunter D is greatness.
I wasn't home for New Year's Eve the one year, so I got home and she's like, I have a present for you, and handed me a VCR, like a cassette tape. I'm like, what's this? And she goes, so they had an entire saga of Dragon Ball Z on last night. I recorded it for you. Like,
Aw.
That's
so
nice.
she
That's
recorded
so
the Garlic
nice.
Jr. saga for me.
I had
on
to
VCR.
beg and plead to watch anime for like the Toonami block so I can use my VHS tapes to record them. And like I had like hundreds of tapes of Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball and Card Captor
That's
Sakura.
awesome.
Dude, I
yes.
recorded commercials. I was
Man,
like so
I remember
stupid.
staying up late to watch everything on Adult Swim that was available. I mean, I remember in high school waking up at like 3:30 in the morning and watching Voltron, Gigantor,
Wish they
and
would
then
bring a new one out so happy.
staying up late to watch Inuyasha and everything else, and I'm just like, my life.
Inuyasha is my mother's favorite anime.
You have cool parents. Why can't I have cool parents like that?
Your
let's
mom
just
sounds
stick
like
with
a
my mom.
badass motherfucker. Like,
See,
She
my mom
is.
just accepted, but she doesn't watch it. She was like, "Yeah, it's like she knows like certain animes because I'm just such a nerd in like anime culture. So like, but she would not like sit down and watch one unless like I trick her into something.
See,
Like, yeah, I'm just
my
gonna watch The Walking Dead. You know, it's not really his high school. You
Oh,
know.
so you're stopping her from watching a bad show.
No, Walking Dead's not bad. Get out
Oh,
of here.
God.
Walking Dead has its bad moments,
Oh,
okay?
Lord.
Let's all admit it has
Yeah,
its
like-
bad moments.
2 entire seasons. Other than
Yeah,
that, it's
I'll
not
agree
bad.
with that.
I haven't even seen the show, but it's getting a little savage in here.
It's one of like 4 live action shows I actually watched.
It's one of the best TV seasons I have ever seen. Season 2 was one of the most cringeworthy things that ever existed in my life.
Oh, The Farm? You don't like watching The Farm?
If I wanted to watch somebody do chores, I'd go upstairs.
The best thing about both seasons of the
God.
show, he actually was here, John Bernthal. He was at the Motor City Comic Con down here this weekend. And it's pretty cool. I know a lot of my friends took pictures with him. I was like, I'm so jealous. I got to close the stupid store. I want to do cool things.
Everybody's going in. Hey, look at Shane. I'm going in. Finally, somebody good in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, Lord.
Daredevil was so good.
I'm halfway through it. It was one of those things I didn't get to watch, and as soon as I got a 4K TV, I'm like, hold up. All Netflix shows are in 4K. I know what I'm doing.
All right, time out.
Screw that bandwidth.
I hate to be this guy, but I've heard this like 4 times in the past 3 days. What the fuck is 4K?
Okay.
Oh no.
Look it.
I'm glad it
work,
was you.
and then
I
go
was
home.
thinking that.
Yes! I work, I go home, I go to sleep, I watch my Netflix on my PS3, okay? Do not judge me.
So, you know, like, you got 1080p on your TV, right? Like, on most TVs now, standard flat screen. You know what 1080p is? It's a resolution.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a resolution on the screen.
Yeah,
Oh.
so, like, basically, that's like, usually it's the standard now. Like, on most YouTube videos, you'll see 1080p
Yeah.
on it. That's like
It's
the standard
considered
HD. It's
high
basically
definition.
double. 4K is double of that.
Yeah, it's
Oh, wow.
21
It's
was it
2160.
2140? 2060, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
basically, it has. There's that many pixels on screen because what P is pixels, so you got 2,160 pixels on screen.
Pickles!
And
Pickles!
I
That's
tried
a lot of pickles.
I didn't finish supper yet. I'm still hungry. Don't do this to me.
But yeah, so the resolution on it is like really high.
Yeah, it's just much more crisp and clear and everything.
See, that's what everybody said about Blu-ray, but I did not see the difference.
You don't see the difference between
I
Blu-ray and
did.
DVD?
Nope.
Oh no.
Yo.
I'm watching an old movie on Blu-ray. I remember the first time my dad and I actually watched, God, it was like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the old version.
Oh, so they're not
You
as
can
good
actually see the
version.
strings hanging on the
Yeah.
grandfather when they're being lifted up in the bubble scene. And my dad's like, "Oh, you can see the string." I'm like, "Holy shit, you can!"
Well, I mean, I guess I'm also the same person that whenever VHSs went to DVD, I was like, this is the same thing. It's just a disc instead of a cassette.
Smaller packaging, less
It's-
I
space,
think
It's a
with
difference.
me-
It's a big difference.
less vacancy.
With me, it depends on the movie. Sometimes I can tell the difference, and sometimes I can't. It's
That is a
usually
big
with
thing.
It's
Yeah.
usually with animated movies where I can tell a big difference because, okay, I'm going to tell you a story, but it's a short story. When The Incredibles first came out on Blu-ray, I felt like I needed it. I felt like I was dying because I didn't have it. But I didn't ask for it because we didn't have a Blu-ray player. So then in, like, near the end of 2012, maybe? I don't remember. Whatever. My dad got a Blu-ray player, so for my birthday, which is in June, that was the only thing I asked for because I thought if I only ask for one thing, I have to get it, right? He has to get it for me. So I said I wanted The Incredibles on Blu-ray, and I did get it, and I watched it on the Blu-ray player. And I noticed a bunch of differences. I thought the animation looked a lot clearer and things were shinier. I definitely noticed some differences, but like
Shiny.
with live action movies, especially ones that aren't supposed to be like visually stunning,
Mhm.
it's not like super noticeable. It's
Yeah.
mostly like if it's supposed to be impressive in the first place, from what I can tell, in my opinion.
Well,
Then you watch it on Blu-ray and it's like, wow.
for the most part, I agree with you, but perfect example. I've watched a couple things in 4K so far. The most beautiful thing I've seen is the web series Video Game High School.
Video Game High School is really good.
Season 3 they shot in 4K,
Yeah, they did.
and I watched it, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
There's one movie I still need to see in 4K, and that's my favorite anime movie, Redline.
Wait, they have that in 4K?
I want to see it as clear as possible.
That's awesome.
Like I love that movie. Like I watch that movie so much. Like every time I go to my friend's house and I see they have a better TV than me, I bring it over. I'm like, slide this in right quick so I can watch it.
I actually wanted to bring up this 4K and bring it around. Is I'm curious to see what anime will be like in 4K. You know, 4K is somewhat really just getting started, and there's not much anime yet, especially over here. I don't know if there's any anime
No,
over here.
4K isn't commercially like big yet.
Yeah.
It's still too expensive, but within the next year or two, I definitely see it being a bigger thing. Especially like as you see, now Sony's like starting to push forward with their PlayStation Neo. They getting the 4K.
More expensive. I just bought a 55-inch TV for $400.
Well, I'm saying like it's getting cheaper is what I'm
Yeah,
what I'm trying to get
it
to. Because like a couple years ago, couple grand get something like that, but now you go on a store, you see $400 4K TV.
Exactly. The big thing will be anime is, you know, sometimes the easiest way to watch it is on disc, and 4K Blu-ray players are still $400,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why, like, I have two 4K Blu-rays that I can't watch yet. But, you know, someday maybe PlayStation 4 Neo, they will become much more accessible. And that's when we will start to see anime coming over, because anime usually isn't the first thing to come over anyhow, because of it being expensive to begin with. I mean, half these seasons, I bought the 13-episode Danganronpa series on Blu-ray for $45. And
Yeah, Psychopath is super expensive as well.
yeah, anime is expensive as it is now. Just imagine if they had that Danganronpa series in 4K.
Shoot, I want freaking what's that show? Man, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Face Day Night. I want that on Blu-ray, but that costs $256, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I didn't
not gonna
like
do it.
this day night.
What? No.
I like Fate Zero.
I didn't like that one
Wait,
either.
you said you liked
Fight,
Fate Zero, or
fight,
you did
fight,
not like Fate
fight.
Zero?
I did like it.
So, which Face Day Night did you watch? Because there's two different versions of it. There's
Whatever
one
one
that
is
comes out
on Netflix.
Oh no! That hurts my feelings.
Is that the one you were so in love with?
I like the one because I like the one that's a sequel to that was the Unlimited Blade Work series.
I tried Fate Zero. I didn't.
It's
really like
it's
it.
one of the most visually stunning animes.
It is.
Like
I
the
will
amount,
give
the
it-
amount of work they put into that series is like most studios wish they had the money to do what they can do with Face Day Night and Fate Zero.
Then again,
I
I
just
know.
love Berserk.
Oh, Berserk.
I really want to see that. I've heard it's very good.
The new season's coming out in June.
I was actually talking about Berserk and Fate Zero, but
That
yeah,
is-
I like
think you were
Berserk
talking
too.
about- So I just kind of segued into both.
See, I know my opinion on anime isn't exactly the best, considering I like Steins Gate and Senran Kagura.
You're
One
too
of
otaku
those
for
isn't
wrestle,
exactly
Elijah.
great.
Saran Kagura is the booby anime of justice, and that's what that show is called, and should always be called. That's what
Wrong.
it is. The guy who creates it literally draws it because he likes boobs a lot. Like his official statement is that he will make sure he puts jiggly boobs in anything he makes.
Have you
Meanwhile, I
read
buy the
Henry
games
Monster?
also.
I mean, let's get serious about that dude. I mean, all of his mangas, a lot of boobies and a lot of drawn out series.
Especially his newest series that he made, Valkyrie Drive, which it's basically just a hentai. That's all it is. Like I was watching it on one of my anime sites, and I was
Wait. Do they have tentacles?
no, but I
Then
can
it's not
explain to you.
hentai.
No,
No.
let me explain to you what this show is about. So basically, on this island, they sent a bunch of females here to, and certain females can transform into weapons. In order to make them to turn into weapons, they have to climax. So they make them have sexual intercourse with each
I
other.
was drinking when you said that.
Yeah. This is like very, very crazy, and they just go all out for like 2 minutes, and then like they transform and fight, and I'm like this makes Saren Kagura look really tame.
I mean, that kind of reminds me of Freezing.
Oh, the freezing anime is something else too, but it's so much different in the manga though.
It is.
They super sexualize it in the anime.
Yeah, but it's so good.
Oh,
I
Lord.
feel like the anime version is always going to be the super sexualized version,
Not
because,
always.
well, mainly because I feel like that's what a lot of people are more prone to taking in, and with it, sexuality is a big thing, especially over in Japan.
Time out. Was that a tummy I just heard?
I heard it.
I didn't.
I was going to ignore it, but since you brought it up,
I don't know.
you don't know.
Oh, that means you too, Elijah.
I
You
mean, in all
did it.
fairness, I didn't eat supper yet. It's sitting right there, so it might be.
You're like, I really want the lasagna. Gotta finish podcast.
Oh no, it's a wonderful burger from Dairy Queen.
Of course.
Dairy Queen.
Oh my god.
Stab it in the cup. Oh goodness. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Tiffany and Daniel, for being on our show. You guys are super awesome.
Yeah, you
Hopefully
guys
we
are
can get
great.
You guys on here again.
That was great.
Do we have any shout-outs today?
I want to give a shout out to my other podcast, Retro and Modern Network, because we're finally getting somewhere, and it feels good.
Cool. I don't have a lot of
Congratulations.
shout outs over here. but I do appreciate being brought to this show today. It's really fun.
Well, thank you. It was fun having you.
I get to talk about anime for like a couple hours. It's great.
Other people who enjoy anime.
Probably gonna watch The Greymon after this.
Fun fact about Daniel. Daniel is one of the only reasons why I stayed in the Neek podcast whenever it was just getting started, because he was the only one who understood my anime love.
Really? I didn't even know that. I feel so appreciated.
But you were the only one that would post anime stuff. Everybody else was like Marvel.
I seen it. I was like, I'm changing Neek up. Like, I went on here and I know everybody was Marvel, DC. I was like, I'm posting nothing but anime news, and that's all I do.
We got
like,
Marvel, DC, anime news, and I'm over here like, I bought a movie today.
You're the hero. You're the hero that we need, but not the one that we deserve.
Don't worry.
You're too good for us.
In the next, like, in probably about 5-6 weeks, I'm gonna do my usual review on my favorite 6 animes and which ones made the snuff and which ones kind of fell short.
Yeah.
Nice.
If any of the listeners ever need any tips, tricks on how to locate new anime coming out, Daniel is your man.
Oh yeah, I know about every show that's coming out within the next like 8 months.
Nice.
I'll need that list. Thank you.
I got you. I'll send you the list.
All right. Any other shout-outs?
I'll go next. Of course, I want to give a shout out to the host of the Anime F-Bomb for allowing me, and of course, Daniel will be on the show today. It's actually pretty
host
great
such a
instead of being
weirdo?
on the other end, listening, and just be like, oh my god, I have opinions, I want to contribute. It's been bothering me for weeks. I was like, Mariah? But it's been fun. It's been really interesting listening to the last few episodes, and of course, I want to give a shout out to Kiku and the Neek podcast as well. I got an opportunity to work with them on their 50th episode. My friend Yasha and I actually did the musical section of their episode, which was a lot of fun, and it was really interesting writing about the different hosts of that show, so that was great. And of course, shout out to the listeners out there, any nerds, anime, manga, video games, whatever, you definitely need to get on listening to this podcast. Of course, I've already mentioned it to you guys may not know who this person is, but we had a visitor come down, a contemporary composer named Eric Whitaker, who we found out was a huge nerd, and I happened to get a chance to meet with him and tell him, hey, if you're into anime and nerd stuff, you need to listen to this podcast. I'm not even joking. You have an iPhone, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, download Neek the podcast and listen to everything that's there. I'm telling you, you will love it. And I swear, in a minute, he was already downloading it. It was great.
That's
We
awesome.
played Eric Whitaker's stuff in high school band. That's really cool.
Yeah, he came down and we got to do a lecture class with him here in Pensacola, and it was great. If you know anything about him, he's actually a down-to-earth, very humble person. Like, he is not like most celebrities that you'll meet, and he was just very inspiring. And to find out that he was a nerd, that just in my life, other than when I got the Keyblade from Kiku and Mariah. I swear to God, I almost had a heart attack.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts, my favorite series of all time.
Oh, yes.
Video
Don't
game-wise.
even get me started on video games, because that will take off another
Oh,
thing. So,
we can have a whole discussion about Kingdom Hearts. I've
I
played
still
both of
need
them
to
so
beat
many
a Kingdom
times.
Hearts.
Oh,
I
you
like
got out
'em.
of here and you go play and you go beat it.
Sir! Sir!
So much
Sir!
disrespect right
I
now.
almost had, what was it, a seizure at
Let me-
Musicon when the kid was carrying the medal?
This is my
Yeah.
wallet.
Keyblade?
I'll have this in my wallet every day. Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's
This
awesome.
is my baby.
That needs to be released in America. It's taking too long.
We got
Just
wait
saying.
till Final Fantasy 15 gets finished first.
Oh my God! Please and thank you. It just needs to happen. I need my life completed right now.
Couple more
Just
years.
saying.
We got 2.8 coming out at the end of the year, so we'll be fine.
God.
The final chapter prologue, because it's not quite finished yet.
Well, no, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been available in Japan for God knows how long. Because I met a kid who actually had a
Kingdom Hearts
copy of
3?
it. I think so.
No, that game's nowhere near done.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody's lying then, and that makes me upset.
You should go karate chop that person for hurting your feelings so much.
Well, it was a Marine, so that might be why.
Oh yeah. You should be careful.
Be careful, honey. I'm from New York. Careful's not my middle name.
Trust me.
That's fair.
No,
I go to New York once or twice a year and was like, Get me out of here.
Hey.
Trust me, I go back home and I think the same thing.
Oh, goodness. I'd just like to give a shout out to everybody listening, everyone who has been listening, keeping up with the show. We wouldn't be anything without you. I wish you guys would ask us questions, though. Thank you, Lauren Strickland, for being the first one to ask questions. Ask us questions. Talk to us. We're people, I swear.
See,
Or are we?
We might be lizard people. Maybe.
Just
I
you.
mean, one of us might be a robot. Ginny's just straight up thug at this point.
And I may be part cat and bunny and who knows what else. Fluffy
I'm
stuff.
100% anime, like all the way through the core of my
She's
being.
actually made of anime.
I'm made of
It's kind of
anime.
amazing.
Like, I'm the core concept of anime when people wake up in the morning.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Ginny, you got any shout-outs?
I hate to be the boring one, but I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
I don't know
I mean,
what to
I
say,
totally-
so that'll do, pig.
I
I
totally
don't know what to do with my
appreciate
hand.
all of you guys, and the listeners, but I mean, other than what everyone else has said, I have nothing to contribute here. Awkward.
You should just say ditto.
Or you know what? I'll give a shout out to Geeks and Gamers. We don't talk about them enough, so there we go. That's what
Fair
I'll
enough.
contribute.
Everybody go check out Geeks and Gamers.
We're pretty cool, in my opinion.
Always represent your inner geek and your inner nerd.
Too true. Too true.
Alright, guys, well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, and keep it otaku.
All right.
Bye.